I mean, I think one of the things that catches me is, especially because I left the US in '02, so a lot of the R&B started getting overshadowed by hip hop. So when I moved to the UK, we weren't getting much R&B apart from legacy artists,
Yeah.
maybe a few Maxwells and Beyonce and stuff like that. So when you were being signed, what was the expectations and from the label? Were we, they're trying to go platinum, or they just trying to, because as I said, R&B was losing its
Mhm.
reach on TV, with
Mhm.
shows, and even on the radio. So what was the label's expectation as to what would count as success?
I mean, they didn't know what to do with me. I think that
Mm.
because they seen a lot of potential in me to say he could be Ne-Yo, he could be this guy, he could be that guy. He writes for
Mhm.
this guy. He gave Trey a #1. How come he can't write himself a #1? And I was like, well,
Mm.
perspective is everything. And certain things that come out of my mouth and come out of his mouth, you know what I mean? It's all
Right.
about what is believable, right? So for
But
me,
that's got to be scary though, to be in a situation where they don't know what to do with you. You just, you're just kind of like in a limbo, like you don't know how to market me. You don't know in this climate what to do with me, and as an artist, why
but
am I
they'll, I
here?
mean, they'll never say, they didn't say that. They didn't
Yeah,
flat
they
out
didn't
say,
say
we
it. You
don't know
just
what to do
sensed
with
it.
you.
Yeah.
Listen, the music industry is always infamous, and they will always go to this.
Mm.
It's you. It's not me. It's not
You.
us. You.
It's you. It's
And
you.
you need to go into the studio. You need to, right? So I was getting a lot of you, something's wrong with you. And I'm like, damn, well, maybe
Wow.
I suck. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's not meant for me to do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so God has a funny way as far as like within the frame of what you were discussing. Um, that despite what the label said and
Yeah.
their expectation or lack thereof, because every time we would hit a certain high point, they were surprised. It's like, okay, we're opening up for Maxwell. Really? Oh, we're opening up for Ne. Really? We got the Glade commercial. Really? Yes, it's #2 on R&B iTunes. Really? I'm like, what do y'all expect from me? And
Right.
I was so surprised by everything that they were always reactive versus being proactive and
Proactive.
being like,
Mhm.
okay, he's getting ready to do this, so let's prepare so that we can then
Right.
attack with the stuff that he does have, right? So it didn't make sense for me to stay with them once the light turned on.
Mm.
So once I realized that they didn't have an expectation, and that either whatever was inside of me scared the hell out of them, or that they just didn't know what to do with it or with me. Once that clicked, I was like, you know what? I'm better off discovering me on my own and cultivating a sound and a bass without outside cooks trying to cook with me in the kitchen, because now it's taking longer, it's distracting, and then it does something to your spirit. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So
But how
Yeah.
easy is it though, just to walk away from a label? I mean, I don't know if modern day label agreements are different, where you can just say, yeah, it's not working, I'm just going to go off.
oh no, it took about a year for them to let me go. Cause it's like, by that time I scored a #1 record with them at Urban AC. They were surprised. I was surprised. Everybody's surprised. We get nominated for NAACP awards, iHeart Music Awards for best R&B or best new R&B
Mhm.
artist. I mean, it's a lot of stuff that came after that. So once that happened, and it was a defining moment. The defining moment. The defining moment was two things. The first thing was, so I had gotten cool with Michael B. Jordan, right? So we were
Mhm.
all kind of in the same circle. So we over at one of our homeboys' house, shout out to Sterling Brim, and we're playing video games, and he's talking about, and this is Michael B. Jordan at this point. He done did Creed, and so everybody's throwing money at him. So we
Okay.
playing video games, and he just like, yo, you got any music for this Piaget watch commercial? I'm like, yeah, like we can figure that out. You just let me know what song. He's like, yo, I think that this song off your album will be super dope. I'm like, say less. So I'm thinking it's as easy as just being like, yo, like I just talked to Mike, like, yo, he gonna put this in the commercial. This gonna be a good look for us. But here's the catch. Because I was a signed artist to a major label, I didn't own my masters, right? So I couldn't say yes or no. So I had to be like, you have to ask the label. And then once you put it into the label's hand, then they start negotiation to say, well, we want 25 grand, we want this, and that. And whatever they settle on, here's the catch. Even if I wrote and produced it, I get zero of the sync fee because I don't own my master, right? So not only does it make a relationship if your label is bargaining in the wrong way, right? It makes your personal relationship with people a little awkward, right? Because they think, yo, they're supposed to be looking out for me. Why they hit me over the head for X amount of dollars? Like, this is a good look for him, right? So that makes that awkward. And then you get no money out of it. So for me, I was like, this ain't adding up. This don't make sense. Second one, I went out on tour and I needed tour support. And I did my first run, and I know I spent about 60 to 70 grand of my own money to finance my tour. And my label at the time gave me maybe 10. Maybe.
So you're signed to a major label. I'm not gonna say the name of it, but you're signed to a major label, and you had to put in 70,000 of your own money.
Yeah, and mind you, I don't own my masters, right? So it's not as if my ROI, as far as on, they get a piece of merch, they get a piece of everything. I'm in a 360, right? So they own all of this stuff, and I'm putting up 70 grand, right? So I'm like, that don't make sense. Then, and this is a little known fact. So I was offered the Bruno Mars 24 Karat Magic Tour, the Canadian run. And so when it was offered, we needed tour support. I had exhausted, most of my personal funds just to make sure that the tour went on successfully. But you don't turn down Bruno Mars. But they did. So they turned it down. And so
the label turned it down.
Because they felt like, at the time that either we shouldn't be paying to be on tour with Bruno Mars, and they didn't want to exhaust any more of the budget. So at that time, I knew that I was like, they don't get this. They don't get
me. That's bad decisions right there. Bruno Mars?
Yeah. So
that's good promotion.
Yeah, that's when I clicked. That's when it clicked to be like, they don't understand. And you know what I mean? Like, it's all love. So when I asked for my release, everybody thought I was playing. My management thought I was playing. The label thought I was playing. So they didn't say nothing to me for 2-3 months. Right. And I'm like, I need the president's number. Since nobody's taking me serious. I text the president, hey. I emailed the president, hey, we got to talk. I only talked to them after 4 or 5 months. And they're like, you really serious about this? And I was like, yeah, I'm serious as a heart attack. I was like, I want to be let go. And it, like I said, it took, 6+ months after that to be released, because it was like, being in a relationship where somebody, wants to break up and the other person wasn't ready. And I just felt like, I have more value. I understand my worth a little bit more now. And I'm not going to stay in a place where I feel like I'm not being appreciated. You know what I mean? I'm just being tolerated at this point where it's like, no matter how much I do, no matter how much God blesses me on a personal level, and even just on an artistic level, in my POV, my team and the people around me, it didn't click for them. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm just like,
and that's what's interesting. A lot of you know, your fans and a lot of people in general, when they listen to music, they see artists on television, and they'll compare artists, and they'll always had that wonder why this artist isn't as successful as another artist.
Mhm.
And usually when we tell our audiences, usually it's the team. It's
Mhm.
something to do with the team a lot of times. Like in your case, you're
Yeah.
hugely talented. You write and produce. Your pen game is crazy. We're going to get into that in a second. But you just didn't have the resources and the tools. They didn't. You weren't a priority to them, it seems.
Mhm.
So it's like it's unfortunate. But let's get into your pen game, because you have written for some really big names.
Mhm.
You've written for Johnny Gill, Toni Braxton, as you said, Jamie Foxx,
Yeah.
Trey Songz with
Uh,
Touchin', right? Was it Touchin'?
Touchin' Lovin',
Touchin'
yeah,
Lovin'.
a couple of records.
Nicki Minaj. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I mean, you've worked with Troy Taylor, one of
Yeah.
the legends in the game,
Mhm.
who's brought us, you know, Trey Songz, Elijah Blake, you
Mhm.
know, Brandon Green, a lot of different people. And also on your album, the latest one, Drive 2, I
Uh-huh.
mean, there's so many fire records on there. Like your pen game is crazy. Like I like Miscommunication. Now
Wow.
that's a song when you want to send some subliminal shots, played it around the house a few times. She gonna be like, okay, why you playing that over and over again? What you trying to say? That's the kind of song that is. That's clever songwriting. You
Thank
know,
you.
Sweet Release. I love that song. You got a lot of Honest. Honest is well, that's I think that's on the
That's
which one
Audacity,
is that
yeah.
on?
It's Audacity,
Yeah,
but
so
yeah, it's all good.
but that's a good song too. That's got some great lyrics in it.
Thank you.
So you are a gifted songwriter, and it's rare that you have someone that's gifted in voice and songwriting, and you're also a producer.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe and turn on your notification. But better still, check out our membership where you can get to watch these videos from day one, as well as our monthly meetings when we get to meet up and talk with myself and the rest of the people who are members, but also some exclusive interviews, which I don't get to broadcast. But thanks for watching and hope to see you soon.
I begin to